Hello, hello, hello. Today we're going to talk about Blood Type Diet 101. Do you know what you're eating? Is it okay for your genetic type? Does it make you sick to eat that avocado or that apple that you thought was good? We're going to find out today. So, I'm Dr. Sam Price. I'm a board certified and licensed concierge naturopathic oncologist, and I help you turn your cancer concerns into wellness wins. So, let's talk about the blood type diet. If you guys have heard of the blood type diet, type in the chat. Yes, I know it. If you know your blood type diet or your blood type, let me know in the chat. I would love to know. But let's talk about the history of the blood type diet. So, the blood type diet was formed by Dr. Peter D'Adamo. He is a naturopathic physician. He's my mentor. His father was also a naturopathic physician. And when he graduated from naturopathic medical school, he went over to Europe, practiced for a while, came back, and then all of a sudden he decided to start blood typing his patients. I don't remember why. I'm not really sure. I should probably ask Peter that. But he started documenting on pieces of paper because we had charts back then. This patient doesn't do well with this. They do well with this exercise. This one doesn't do well with this. And he all correlated it with blood types, with their blood types. So in this, Peter, coming up in the ranks as another naturopathic physician, was like, I don't know if this really makes sense. And in naturopathic medical school, we do have to do research projects to graduate. So for his research project, he set out to really kind of prove his dad wrong. So instead of proving his dad wrong, he went through several different journal articles, scientific studies, really combing the information, and found out that his dad was right. So what he did was he put all of that information, the scientific studies, the research papers, all of the things that had anything to do with blood type and chronic illness, blood type and food sensitivities, blood type and lectin science, because it is all about the lectins, which are a protein. This is where blood type diet comes from. So in doing so, he came up with the blood type diet. So the book that he wrote, the very first book, is called Eat Right for Your Type. It looks like this. Eat Right for Your Type. This is Peter D'Adamo right here. So this is the first book, right? So this kind of tells you the basics of the diet. The next book that he wrote was called Live Right for Your Type, which is an awesome one as well if you want to delve into like the science behind everything. So we love that one. I will kind of tell you how it goes. So the diet is based upon blood type O, A, B, and AB. Those are the 4 blood types. So we'll go through them. I'll give you a little synopsis. This is a 101. This isn't like the whole blood type diet, right? You're welcome to talk to me if you want to know more in-depth information. So, what else did I want you guys to know? So it is broken into beneficials, neutrals, and avoids. So beneficials, think of these as medicine for your body, things that your body craves. Like if you were to take an aspirin for a headache, it is like eating an apple for a blood type, whatever, right? So think of it as medicine. Neutrals are what they are. They're not good or bad. They're not medicine, right? They're not doing anything great, but they're not doing anything harmful either. So avoids are poison for you. They cause inflammation. So think of it as almost like an allergic reaction, but we think of it more as a sensitivity. So it does harm to your body. So I like to explain it like a lock and a key. If you have a key and you turn it into the lock, it opens the lock. Those are your beneficials. It opens the door to nourish your cells. If you have the wrong key and you keep trying, it strips the lock. That's an avoid, right? Then nothing can get in because the lock is stripped. A neutral doesn't open the door, but it also doesn't strip the lock. I hope I'm making some sense, okay? So lectins. Lectins are the proteins that we find on our red blood cells as well as on certain foods. So if you think about a square can't go into a round peg, or If it is square, well, I can't make a square with my hand. A round thing can't go into a square peg. Think about your food like that. Think about your blood cells as having different receptors. Maybe it's square, maybe it's triangle, maybe it's rectangle, maybe it's circle, and food having those shapes as well. They have to be able to fit correctly. This is the reason why you can't transfuse certain bloods into other bloods, right? So in knowing this, we know that those foods that have a round shape fit into the receptors that have a round receptor. This might be a blood type A and a blood type A food, right? So let's talk about the different blood types. We're going to talk about blood type O first, is more of the older blood type. I want you to think of this as a hunter, right? So these were the people, think about it as if you were living back in the days, the ice ages, right? And we had to hunt for our food because we needed something to eat. So we're hunting for our food. So blood type O's are really supposed to be meat eaters. They are definitely hunters. They're strong, they're self-reliant, and they're leaders. And I'm going to show you, I'm reading right from my book. That's Peter, by the way. You see Peter right there? And that's me. This is my book. And I'm going to straight read from page 51, which is where I have the blood type O chart. Very simple. So blood type O is the hunter. They're strong, they're self-reliant, and they're leaders. So they've got a hardy digestive tract. They're strong immune system, natural defenses against infections. Medical risk factors are going to be blood clotting disorders, anti-inflammatory diseases like arthritis, low thyroid production, ulcers, and allergies. So most people want to know, okay, what do I do for weight loss for some reason? You want to avoid wheat and corn and kidney beans and navy beans, cauliflower. I know everybody thinks cauliflower is amazing, especially with keto and all the things that you can do with cauliflower. But for a blood type O, it's really not okay for you. Kelp and seafood and salt are really good for you. Liver, red meat, kale, spinach, and broccoli, right? So the diet profile are blood type O's are red meat eaters, but definitely meat eaters, but red meat eaters, okay? We definitely can do fish, vegetables, and fruit. We want to limit our grains, our beans, and our legumes, okay? Supplements for blood type O. We really like B vitamins, K, calcium, iodine, licorice, and kelp. So that's your blood type O. So remember, I said this is a 101. We're not going to do a bunch of stuff, just the basics. Okay. So let's talk about blood type A. So let's say as the glaciers melted, we became more of an agrarian society where we learned how to farm. We could plant, we could grow our food. So blood type A's are the cultivator. They are settled, they're cooperative, orderly, artistic, and visionary. So this is what it looks like for the blood type A. Strengths for a blood type A is that they adapt well to dietary and environmental changes. Their weaknesses are that they have a sensitive digestive tract. And the reason for this is that they don't have a high amount of hydrochloric acid in their stomach, whereas blood type O's do. That hydrochloric acid allows you to break down protein really well, right? But blood type A's don't have that. They are vulnerable. They have a vulnerable immune system and it's open to microbial invasion. So medical risk factors for a blood type A: heart disease, anemia, because they're not supposed to have that meat like us, liver gallbladder disorders, type 1 diabetes, and most importantly, cancer. So there is literally a little part of your genetics that kind of sticks up and it makes it look as though it's familial to cancer. So lots of cancer concerns and cancer risk factors for blood type A. So diet profile. You guys are supposed to be vegetarians, so not a bunch of meat. Can you have chicken and seafood? Absolutely, but definitely not the red meat. more think of tofu, vegetarianism, some seafood, grains, beans, legumes, and fruit, but your protein should really come from the beans and the legumes. Okay. So things that you want to avoid: meat, dairy, kidney and lima beans, and wheat. Okay. Supplements: B12, folate, vitamin C, E, hawthorn, echinacea. Quercetin is your like amazing one. And then milk thistle because of the liver gallbladder disorders, right? So let's move on to blood type B. Blood type B. Okay. This is on page number 55. So blood type B is the nomad. They're balanced, flexible, and creative. So they're the nomad because as we evolve, we decided that evolutionary, instead of just staying in one place and staying on the farm, we actually can move around. We can hunt, we can farm, we can do it all. So that is why the blood type B is a nomad. Their strengths are that you have a strong immune system. You don't really have any natural weaknesses, but imbalances do cause tendencies towards autoimmune breakdowns and rare viruses. So medical risk factors: type 1 diabetes, chronic fatigue syndrome, and autoimmune disorders such as lupus, ALS, and MS, multiple sclerosis. So you guys are balanced omnivores. You can pretty much eat pretty much everything, but you cannot have chicken, soy, corn, and peanuts. So let me repeat that. You cannot have chicken, corn, soy, and peanuts. They are like your kryptonite. They do not make you feel good. They are very poisonous specifically to you and cause inflammation in your body. You can have dairy. This is like one of the only blood types that really can process dairy very well. You can have grains, beans, legumes, vegetables, and fruits. You want to avoid, like I said, corn, lentils, peanuts, sesame seeds, buckwheat, wheat. I told you already about the chicken. Supplements for blood type B are magnesium, licorice, ginkgo, and lecithin. So that's blood type B. Now, as we evolved, the last blood type came from an intermingling of the two blood types, so of the blood types. So that blood type is blood type AB, and it is on page 57. So the strengths of the blood type AB is an enigma. You guys are like the little unicorns, and you're very rare. So charismatic, and you're mysterious. So your strengths are that you're designed for modern conditions. You have a highly tolerant immune system. You combine both the benefits of A and B, but that also means that you have the weaknesses of both A and B, right? So the weaknesses are you have a sensitive digestive tract, just like a blood type A. You have a tendency for over-tolerant immune system, allowing for microbial invasion. Your medical risk factors are heart disease, cancer, and anemia. So your diet should be mixed diet in moderation. So some of the things that B can have, absolutely. Some of the things that B can't have. So you cannot, as a blood type AB, have red meat. Well, there are some red meats that you can have. You can't have chicken because of that B allele. No corn, also because of the B allele. But the tofu, the seafood, the kelp, the greens, and the pineapple and the dairy, you can have. So supplements specifically for blood type AB are going to be vitamin C, hawthorn, echinacea, valerian, quercetin, and milk thistle. So that is blood type 101. Is there more? Absolutely. Actually, your exercise regimen that you're doing can also be customized based upon your blood type. So, for example, a blood type O can really do much better. Hold on one second. I'm trying to get rid of this. A blood type O does really well with cardiovascular exercise, whereas a blood type A does much better with calming exercises because they have a high amount of cortisol and you want to decrease the cortisol levels, right? So Tai Chi, yoga, those type of things are amazing for a blood type A. Blood type B, mixed in moderation. So you kind of want to do something that gives you a mental focus, but still gives you some cardio exercise. So blood type B would do something like tennis and Tai Chi and cycling. And then a blood type AB does the same thing as A and B, if that makes sense. So tennis, yoga, cycling, those type of things. So I hope this has been informative. I'm Dr. Sam Price. I'm a concierge naturopathic oncologist. I help you turn your cancer concerns into wellness wins. If you want to book a call with me, please do so at the bottom link. It is speakwithdrsam.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Talk to you soon. Bye.